At the start of a yoga class, I often ask students what they want to stretch. What are the top choices? Hips and lower back. Always. Hi, I'm Kate, and today we'll dive into a simple and effective routine for hip flexibility. This uses 5 poses that are perfect for beginners. And you'll notice the way I teach them is a little unconventional, but that will make them work so much better for you. Yoga begins with paying attention. So after you do these stretches, see if you feel better. If not, something else might be going on, such as a pain you want to have checked out. To start, come onto your hands and your knees. On your hands and your knees, go ahead and step your right foot between your hands. And you can always use your right hand to help your right foot forward a little bit if you need to. You're gonna slide your left leg back a little bit. And then if you'd like some support, you can always put like a small towel or maybe wrap over the side of your mat to give you a little bit of extra cushion. From here, you're gonna place both hands on your right thigh, and then you're gonna lift your pelvis away from your right thigh. Now, both hands can stay on your thigh, and you're working to lengthen your spine. We call this posture low lunge. And then engage your glutes, your butt. Engage your butt, especially on the left side, and maybe you begin to feel a stretch right in front of your left hip. Some people like to take their hands to their heart or even reach their arms up. So you have 3 choices of where to place your hands. And then you look straight ahead of you and you're breathing in and out through your nose in a nice, relaxed manner. After the 5th breath, place your hands back down on the ground. You can lean slightly over to the left, bring your right knee back, and then let's go ahead and do it on the second side. So step your left foot right between your hands. Again, slide your right leg back, cushion it as you need to. And then once you feel supported, go ahead and place both hands on your left thigh, and then raise your shoulders up. Now, sometimes you'll see people kind of lean into this, and that's okay, but I like to try to get my lower abdominals away from my left thigh and create some room and some space there. And when I do that, again, I'm engaging my glutes to make sure that I'm feeling this right along the front of my right hip. And then even your back foot is pressing down a little bit. And as you do that, maybe you can feel how your right leg becomes more active. Stay here, or again, if you'd like to, raise your arms up for the last 2 breaths. And then with your next exhale, place your hands back down to the ground. Lean over again, bring your left knee back by your right knee. And then we're gonna go into our next posture, which is kind of a modification of a posture. And so you're gonna step your right foot on the outside of your right hand this time. And you're gonna slide your left leg back. From here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do something called a dynamic stretch. And we're gonna do this by placing your hands right underneath your shoulders. And then we're gonna kind of sort of do push-ups. And what I mean by this is with your inhale, you're gonna bend your elbows. You're not gonna lower down to your forearms, you're just gonna bend your elbows, and then your exhale, you're gonna straighten your arms. And maybe you feel this in your hips as you do this. So inhale, you're gonna bend your elbows. Exhale, coming back up. And you don't have to bend very much if you don't want to. Inhale, bend. A little goes a long way here. Exhale, back up. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Perhaps you can feel that right in your hips. Again, I'm gonna lean over to the left, bring my right leg around to the back, and right away, step my left foot on the outside of my left hand. Slide your right leg back as much as you need to feel comfortable. And then let's go right into the next 5 here on this left side. So inhale, bend your elbows. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last 2. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Again, I can lean back to the right, or I can simply bring my left leg back. And I'm back on my hands and my knees just for a moment. Now for my hands and my knees, I'm gonna come back to standing. So you can simply tuck your toes, walk your feet forward a little bit, and then go ahead and come to a standing position. We're gonna walk to the front of the mat. We're gonna come right into a squat. And so to do this, we're gonna separate our feet about hip width apart. And if you feel like you have some tightness in your hips, you can always go a little bit further. In fact, some people like to turn their feet out. I'm gonna encourage you to have your feet forward and simply separate your feet a little bit more. And then we're gonna make this a dynamic squat. So we do that with your inhale, we're gonna bend our knees, and you can come down a little bit. Some people come down halfway, and it might be a nice idea to place your hands in your thighs and then come back up. Some people can come a little bit further down, and sometimes it helps to reach your arms out in front of you, and then exhale back up. Do this 3 more times. Inhale, bend. Exhale, back up. Always going at your own pace, whatever feels comfortable for you. 2 more. Inhale, bend. Exhale, back up. 1 more time. Inhale, bend. And then back up. And so when you do this, you really want to bend your knees and feel like your hamstrings are active. And the easiest way to do that is to imagine that your butt is moving towards your heels, but it's like the back of your leg that's working to help you do this, because you really want to feel some strength. I know a lot of times in yoga we stretch out the hamstrings, but here we really want to feel the strength of the hamstrings. And then come back to stand. We have 2 more postures to go. Back onto hands and knees. So you can step to the middle of the mat, lower back down to your hands, your knees. This is the easiest way to transition to the ground. So bring your feet together, over to the right, butt to the left, and then you put your feet down in front of you. From there, we're gonna come into a posture we call bridge. So go ahead and make your way all the way onto your back, keeping your knees bent. And then you want your feet about hip width apart, heels fairly close to your butt. And the reason why we have the heels close to our butt is so that we're actually using our butt a little bit more. If our feet are further forward, then that's gonna use our hamstrings more. So in this case, we're looking more for our glutes to activate. Again, we're gonna make this dynamic. And the easiest way to do this is to simply take your hands to the sides of your mat and try to take hold of the mat and then actually imagine yourself pulling the mat apart. Press down into your feet and then inhale, lift up your hips, your belly, and your heart, keeping your head down, looking straight up, and then exhale, rolling back down. So you want to imagine like you're rolling up and then you're rolling back down. So again, inhale, lift up, hips, belly, heart lift, and then exhale, rolling back down. Make sure you're using your glutes on the way up. Inhale, lift up, and then lower back down. So you might notice this is targeting your hips, and it's also getting into your back a little bit more. 2 more. Inhale, lift, and then lower back down. 1 more time. Inhale, lift, and then lower back down. 1 more posture. The easiest way to do that is to go ahead and extend your legs long, and then you're gonna reach your right arm back behind you, and you're gonna roll over onto your right side. So you're actually laying on your right side. And when you do this, you wanna have your lower arm, in this case your right arm, right underneath your head. Keep your legs straight, and then bend your left knee and reach back and take a hold of your left foot. And what's nice about this posture is that if you can't quite reach your foot, you can bring your knee towards your chest a little bit. See if you can reach down and take a hold of your ankle or your top of your foot. And then once you have it, you can work to bring it backwards. Try not to lift your left knee up too high. If you want a little bit more challenge here, press your foot and your hand into each other so you feel some strength there. And then maybe begin to take your leg back behind you a little bit. Again, keep pressing your foot and your hand into each other. You don't want to feel like it's just the arm working. You actually want to feel like your leg and your hip are involved, as well as your glutes once more. And then when you're done with that, go ahead and relax. Use your hand to support you as you make your way onto your back. and then we would normally roll over and go ahead and do the second side. So let's go ahead and do that now. Reach your left arm back behind you. Roll over onto your left side. Making sure that you support yourself, your head with your lower arm, your left arm. Bend your right knee. Reach back, take a hold of your foot. Again, if you have to bring it a little bit further forward to take a hold, do that, and then you can bring it back. Press your foot and your hand into each other firmly. So the arm gets strong, but your leg gets strong, really important. Glutes are involved, and you're breathing. And what's really nice about this version of this posture is that you're on the ground, so you're being supported here. And even if you're a little bit wobbly, the worst that's gonna happen is you're gonna fall, but you're already on the ground, so you don't have far to fall. And then gently release your foot and make your way back onto your back. Give a thumbs up if you like this video. On this channel, we help people who are new to yoga go from unsure and intimidated beginner to confident practitioner with a strong body, clear mind, and inspired life. A couple of things to keep in mind. These poses only work 2 of the ways that the hips move, flexion and extension. The hips move in other directions too. Also, very often we feel limitations in our hips, but it can actually be something else like being unable to move your back or your knees well. A complete yoga practice includes the entire body. Is there any area of the body you want me to create a short routine for? Let me know in the comments below. As I mentioned, when you have a lack of flexibility in your hips, it can affect your lower back too. Check out this video that addresses that.